Greatly outnumbered, his country's soldiers had somehow driven back the invading enemy. Now it was time for him, as a military messenger, to do his part. And so he ran. There was a lag of about 25 miles, child's play for someone with his training, to pass along the incredible news that so far the invaders were being held off. But first, there was a longer stretch out and back to ensure that more troops were being sent to the front line. All totaled, he ran about 300 miles in 4 days. Then, his job done, he collapsed and died. He had sacrificed himself for the good of his country, and in doing so, had secured his place in the annals of history. Today is Tuesday, September 16th, 2025, and sometime around this day in 490 BC, legend has it that Greek messenger Pheidippides completed the ultra marathon that would inspire the most iconic event in the modern Olympic Games, along with an entire culture built around the desire to follow in his footsteps. I'm your host, Running Up That Hillary, and you are listening to Today in Running History. It is once again Tat Tuesday, and this is a very special Tat Tuesday because I have Dawn Oswalt from My Race Tats here. How are
Hey,
you?
I'm doing great, Hillary. How you doing? Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, I'm super excited, and we are doing a giveaway. Can you tell
Yes.
everybody a little bit about the company and what we're giving away?
Yeah, so if you're not familiar with My Race Tats, we are a temporary mantra tattoo company. We're the only brand that helps you as an athlete with your mental fitness through, temporary mantra tattoos. We've got a great selection to help you with your mental resilience, joy, fun, and community connection. And let's see. And we're really excited about the giveaway that we're doing. And do you want to, let's see. Yeah, right now we're just giving a chance to have you all enter the My Race Tats giveaway. And what we're giving away is worth over $200. So it's two $25 gift certificates for you and a friend. You're getting one of the free athlete starter pack. There's 20 of our best-selling mantra tattoos in this pack. And then you're getting two mantra wristbands. I should have one on. And two glitter face freckles. We've just come out with these. A lot of people are wearing them at races.
Oh,
It
people
just
love
brings a lot of
those.
fun. Yeah. And then one My Race Tats beanie. So we're really excited about partnering with you, Hillary, and your podcast. And can you just let everybody know how to enter?
Yes, absolutely. And I am super excited. This is kind of a different sort of podception because we are doing this giveaway in conjunction with On the Runs podcast.
Right.
So, what you will do to enter the giveaway is you'll go to our Instagram post, which I will link in the episode description to make it easier on everybody. And all you have to do is make sure that you are following me, which I hope you already are. And then you follow My Race Stats and On the Runs podcasts, and then tag a friend that you would like to share the prize pack with, because there's two of lots of things. So just any friend in the world. And then if you want an additional entry, then just share it to your story and share your favorite running mantra. So one of mine
Awesome.
is forward is a pace. So you can steal that, or you can tell me which one you think is better.
Right, right. Yeah, I think my favorite is I Can Do Hard Things. It's a really popular tattoo that we do. And so yeah, 100%.
And running is hard. It's hard
I know.
no matter what. So that's always a good reminder. So check it out. It'll be in the episode description. Once you go to the actual post, there will also be the instructions again. If you get lost
Right.
with anything that we've said here, go on there. It'll explain everything and enter.
All right. Yeah, thank you so much, Hillary. I really appreciate you and Eric partnering with both of you. And let's do this.
All right. Thank you, and happy Tat Tuesday.
Okay. Thank you.
I am too young to remember who Charlton Heston or Kirk Douglas are, but my mom pointed out that the first image that comes up when you Google Pheidippides looks like the two of them had a baby. Based on the tough guy roles those two old school actors are known for, the resemblance is pretty fitting. We can assume that old Fed, as I will refer to him in this episode, was a bit of a badass. Well, until he wasn't, but we'll get to that later. But it turns out that the first image that comes up is from a 2016 Runner's World article excerpting from Dean Karnaze's book, The Road to Sparta, in which he detailed the experience of recreating Fed's iconic journey. The statue in the article is actually a work of graphic art depicting the writer, so I guess it is he who looks like the Heston Douglas love child. The real Pheidippides bronze is northeast of Athens along the marathon route of the 2004 Olympics, and it was created in 1997 when the city was awarded those upcoming Olympics. It was stolen in 2016 despite weighing more than 1,100 pounds, then recreated and reinstalled by the sculptor. And I like it because he looks like he's bonking, and I can totally relate. But guess what? In another plot twist, it turns out that the Athens statue is actually based on someone else entirely, a different messenger named Epicles, which makes sense if you know the actual story of our boy Fed. So let's get to it. In one version of the legend, Fed was dispatched from the battlefield in Marathon on the eastern coast of Greece to the capital of Athens, about 25 miles away, to announce the surprise win over the Persians. There, he burst into Acropolis, where all of the political big shots were protected, and shouted, Nike, Nike, Ninakenium, which translates to victory, victory, we conquer. And then, exhausted, he died. But another version of the story has Fed running first from Athens to Sparta, which is southwest along the Saronic Gulf, to secure more troops for the ongoing battle. This was a run of about 145 to 150 miles, during which he was fueled by the same kind of stuff that comes to mind when you think about a charcuterie board of Greek food today. Olives and figs, other portable fruits, dried meats, and a sesame seed and honey paste. It took him 2 days. Once he got there, Fed discovered that while additional troops were being sent, spiritual restrictions meant that there would be a 6-day delay in doing that, because they had to wait until the moon was full. So he had to run back to Athens to let them know this. Not surprisingly, on the run back, he hallucinated a bit, or as Fed described it, had a religious vision telling him that the people of Athens better stay in line or risk incurring some wrath. This return trip also took 2 days. The powers that be in Athens didn't care about the full moon thing and sent 10,000 troops to Marathon. Thanks to a heads up from Fed, the general opted not to wait for the soldiers, but to instead launch a surprise attack, which was successful. But Greek scholars say that the messenger who delivered the news from Marathon to Athens was not Pheidippides, but Epicles, which makes sense because I don't care how good a runner you are, running 600 miles in 4 days is a lot. And if Epicles is just hanging out, you are almost certainly going to say, hey, Eph, I just talked to Themistocles, and he said for you to grab a handful of figs and hit the road to Marathon like 5 minutes ago. So Epicles hustled out to battle, then back to Athens, where he dropped dead. So who deserves the glory? The one who ran 325 miles in less than a week, or the one who ran 50 miles out and back and then died? Either way, when the Olympics were revamped in April 1896, the marathon was the final event of the Games, as it remains today. It began in Marathon and ended in Athens' Panentheaic Stadium, retracing the steps of Pheidippides, or maybe Epicles, and was won by the host country's own Spiridon Lewis, who is the face of this very podcast, as seen in our logo. He was the only Greek athlete to win an event at those first Games. The official marathon distance was set in 1908, following the insane saga of the 1904 Olympic Marathon, which I have covered before, and I might just cover again because it's amazing and ridiculous. The big takeaway here is that the next time you complain that you have to run 26.2 miles, remember that they could have decided to make it 300.2 miles in the name of true authenticity. And that is all I have for today. Thank you so much for continuing to tune in. Remember that today is Tat Tuesday, and all listeners of Today in Running History get 20% off your purchase from My Race Stats by entering my code Hillary at checkout. Join me tomorrow to talk cross country and to hear about the only athlete to ever win the International Cross Country Championships 5 consecutive times. I'm your host, Running Up That Hillary, and this has been Today in Running History. Excerpting from Dean Carnazes, God dang it. Carnazes? Carnazes? Carnazes. Why do I struggle? Why do I struggle so much with these names? It began in Marathon and ended in Athens. Spiridon? Dang it. Spiridon? It began in Marathon and ended in Athens Panathenaic Stadium phonetically before I do this. Panathenaic. Own Spiridion. It began in Marathon and ended in Athens God dang it. What is wrong with me? Okay. Panathenaic.